So it's not Michelle and I doing things
We're
here
not talking
up
at
front,
you.
but we'll be all creating something together. What we'll be doing is just to project the problem statement we propose to solve together, and then we're going to come into groups. Michelle will give the details to basically come up with the ideas of each and every one of you. So as you hear us talking now, already start thinking. We'll afterwards summarize the outcome of the session so that we can all benefit from our collective brainstorming.
And we're going to have you, at the end, do a 90-second presentation for each group to summarize what you've come up with. So already think about who's going to be the brave one. So we didn't want to do a typical session. We figured you've been sitting all day. You're after lunch as well. This is dangerous to be in this spot. But what we wanted to do is, like, we don't want to take the typical pathway with basically mapping the customer experience within pharma. And this cartoon, I think we were planning this came up, and I was like, this is perfect. Because what we do is like, hey, guys, this message isn't hitting. And what do we always do? Let's double down on it and just add more technology, right? And really piss our customers off. So that's why we took this approach. We actually want to talk about some of the frameworks in case you don't work with them. We're going to take nothing too heavy. And then we want you to basically think based on this problem statement and really look at this as a speed marketing exercise and learn from each other. So don't be in the same group of people you normally are. And use this as an opportunity to learn from each other, but also to think quickly and think about the customer. Like, really take a minute to think about the customer experience.
Thanks, Michelle, for this introduction. So what problem statement are we proposing to collectively solve today? So typically, the brand planning process is a pretty standard process in most organizations, pharma and outside of pharma. We've written down its three main pillars. Again, you may have slight deviations, but generally speaking, we're starting off with trying to understand the situation, right? It's a situation analysis based on insights. We wrote a couple of triggers there. So what's the market context, competitive insights, treatment paradigm, unmet need, patient journey, stakeholder insights, and so forth. And then out of that, we've got the SWOT. A second pillar after the situation analysis comes the strategy planning, and then the tactics. Now, we already heard in a couple of sessions earlier today that, unfortunately today we're mostly focusing on the tactics, so more weight to be given to the strategy. But overall, anyway, so the point is to say that the brand planning process is a critical process in any company, and we're all doing it more or less the same. At the same time, most pharma companies have in the meantime already, since a couple of years, introduced their digital business transformation, whatever you want to call it, and we've started upskilling our colleagues on new ways of working. And those new ways of working include what? A transversal engagement, right? So not sort of, the field force is here, marketing is there, but really a transversal engagement across functions with the customer at the center, so a customer-centric approach, data-driven marketing, agile marketing, right? So these are all concepts that we've heard various times today, and that we have taught and we've been teaching ourselves to do more like other industries ever since we started with our digital business transformations. Now, what is the question for today that for the newcomers we will collectively seek to solve, so start putting your minds on, is how are we actually bridging the gap between these two? So on the one side, the traditional brand planning process, it's been there for many years, and then the new ways of working that we have upskilled our teams to do. How are these things coming together for an integrated approach and a strategic approach, starting from insights, strategy, execution, transversally? What in the individual pillars of the brand plan would need to be done differently or more or less in order to meet these two concepts? That's the problem statement for today.
And we want you to be creative, and we're going to assign you to each of the posters because of the fact that we want you to focus on that, because it would be big to ask you to do this on everything in 10 minutes, right? That would be really ambitious. So what we want you to do is really think out of the box here and think about finally really reaching the customer beyond what we actually do now. You can even be a little bit provocative. Go for it. That's the point of today. We never get that time to be that creative per se. So that's what this is for.
So I guess everybody, if you could, just to be pragmatic, everybody should just like, some of you that are there, stay there at the tactics, some of you situation analysis, if you could just stand up, sorry about that, and get closer. And then we have some pens. We have less pens than we wanted to have, but we still have some. And we would love you to start writing down, again, what you do today, maybe currently, what you think should be done. And in order for this to be a benefit for everybody, we will then summarize the outcome of this session, right? So one example could be, you know, for example, a situation analysis. We are obviously looking at the patient journey. We are looking at the stakeholder mapping, but how are we looking at them? Just from a prescriber perspective or from other aspects as well, you know, psychographic, demographic, functional, whatever, right? So not to say too much. Let's
brainstorm for at least 5 minutes. Just get stuff down. No stupid ideas. Just write them. Just massively get it on the board. This is like speed dating. This is speed marketing. Yeah. Don't think. Just let your brains go, okay? And then once you get to like, we'll tell you when the 5-minute mark hits. At that point, start drilling it down to the really innovative thing and what you think should be, you know, as the recommendation for your group. You will have 1.5 minutes, and we will be very, very strict on that. So be really clever, be really sweet and short with your message.
So we have about 20 minutes.
We're all marketeers, right? That's what we got to do. So that's good communication.
We have about 20 minutes right now left in the session. So if we can come in groups together, and then you just everybody writes down their thoughts, or you have all your selectors, a leader.
Or you can pick a leader that writes.
And exactly, that's maybe a better idea.
In the corner, yep.
And there you go. I'll throw it.
You take that one, focus on that one.
Good catch.
So just focus on that one area for now.
And then restitution, probably taking the 3 key ideas.
If you want an extra pen, feel free.
Sorry, say again?
You can designate a writer, of course.
It's standard across the board, so it's not therapeutic area specific. What would we need to do differently? Hey, nice to see you. What do we need to do differently to bridge the gap between the traditional ways of doing the brand planning process and the new ways
give
of
yourself,
that we've
give
been
yourself a
teaching
product
with the business transformation.
And give yourself an idea of like where are you going to start with the strategy planning and what are going to be the really important things you need to think about to actually have an impactful strategy, because we're breaking it apart. There's always opportunities to improve the customer experience in all 3 of these pillars.
Because what should be different, right? I mean,
you can put the basic stuff that you always do.
There are many basics that we're doing already, we all know.
Inspirational ideas, just go for it for the strategy.
Very good at looking at the competition.
Mindfulness meditation session, I propose to pick some anxiolytics. Customer profiling, it's the who, what, when, and where of customers. Like, who are they?
What product do you want? That's you guys. You ideas. What product do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to start
maybe beyond the prescribing behavior, right?
So basically, pick any product. It doesn't really matter. Just start thinking about, generally speaking, and we gave you some ideas there of like what you need to consider within strategy planning. So where are you going to actually operate with your product? So what would you do? You don't even have to have a product to say, what are the things I need to think about if I want to reach my prescriber or reach the patient, right? Then go like,
and
again,
then where do they
what
go
are
for
critical
information?
success
What
factors?
information are they
What does
looking
good
for?
look
And what
like? How do I
sources
measure
would
that
you
I've
be
done a
using?
good job as a
What
marketeer?
sources would you be using?
So it's separated from the other pieces, but it's still a critical part that you have to think about as well. So there's some ideas up there, and just start thinking. And when what would you do if this was your new product?
I think the SWOT that you've got up there, I think we need to be able to do the SWOT for the different target audiences from their eye, not from our eye. So look at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats from the external perspective. By the way, hi. We need to catch up a little bit later on.
But back to
Henry,
talking about customer profiles, we also want to put up there parallel paths between HCP engagement and patient engagement. What are those points of inflection?
Just write. Yeah, just write. Just get them on there. Where's them on there?
Yeah, very good.
No, just write.
And even
Just
that, I
write.
guess most companies today
It's
are
complete
already
free
sort
flow
of
thought.
segmenting the main categories, right? Like payers, HCPs, patients. But do we need to even go beyond at this stage already?
Just write. Don't worry about bucketing it, anything.
You need to consider the gatekeepers, because if there's something
He's a traditional marketing guy. You see what happens here?
thinking downstream, something that would drive that and that is, what do these customers need from us now? Like, what is it they need from us, as in the pharma company, and what are they going to need in the future?
Yeah.
Because I think it's a trap to try and think about trying to do everything on day one, right? It's like, yeah. So what do they need right now versus what do they need in 6 months' time? Yeah.
Look at the customer as a real patient, as a real person. I think this is a,
Customers first, before we look at.
no, he's saying look at him as a human being, because that's,
Capabilities of how we can meet that, rather than we always look at brand and think how can we fit it around the customer needs.
Yeah, very good point. That's. Sorry, what company?
Yes, we do. They consider us payers.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe going back to the sources of all these critical points that you're mentioning, do you think that market research is enough, or should we go? Should
look
we
at
look
how
at other
everyone
sources
gravitated
as well?
to tactics. You're so predictable, marketeers.
But it's not enough. Some of these
Market research, I guess the pitfall there is that people who take surveys like doing surveys and are inherently competitive. Exactly. So is there non-survey based data? Is there organic data?
Let me ask a question to those that are being a little quiet. It's not to call you out. How would you want to be approached if you needed a medication and you wanted to somehow, let's say you're a prescriber or a patient, what do you think they miss? What do we miss as companies? What did you say? Voice of the patient. Voice of the patient. No.
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Anything else?
Just observing.
Sleeping pills or something. That was the idea, for example. I suffer a lot from sleep issues. Side effects, for example.
Yep.
Side effects. Or maybe this is not just
Be open about the scary stuff, basically. Tackle it head on versus hiding it. And who are your competitors?
Sorry, just a
Yeah.
question, because
Is that just
afterwards
pharma companies?
each,
Is that-
leader of the teams they will
Okay.
present? Can we give them a microphone as well? Hi. There was a lady from Dario's team that helped us.
Do you want to join a group? Would you like to join a group?
Thank you so much.
Would you like to join a group?
I need to go in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay. You could just wander in.
Quite a cool approach.
We're trying to try. Figured it's better after lunch.
Michelle, you'll tell them when they have just a couple of minutes left. Okay, so 2 minutes left.
When I say 5 minutes, I'll give them a 5-minute warning.
Okay.
It's going to help this group. I think they're a little more nervous, but I think we're getting it.
Happy
If
with
you
that
wanna-
group,
Do you
they
want to
can
help them a little
Yeah,
bit too?
yeah.
Just listen in.
Reduce stress and better sleep.
Oh, sorry. Is it working? Yeah, perfect. So when I'll take it.
Impressive. You guys are on a second one already. Nice job, guys.
And then I make you a sign.
I feel bad for the person who has to summarize it. We're halfway there. 5-minute mark. 5-minute mark.
I think with this particular kind of solution, we also need to be thinking not only about maybe other skills, what else can be done to address that? That's need, for example, might be communicating with mattresses. When they claim that you get a better sleep. A more holistic look at the problem, not just with Alexis, where we can be active.
Yeah, very nice point.
that's kind of
You want to join a group?
strategy for the brand.
In this case, the pills that you sell, but also maybe an app that helps them integrate better sleeping habits, other behavioral change that accompany that. So together all of that makes change in the collaborating
Yeah, they're getting
They're
into
flowing
it.
better, yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So we have 3.5 minutes. We'll have plenty
Do you
of
think
time.
they'll make it in 1.5 minutes? Or yeah.
I'll tell them. You have 3 minutes left. Start thinking how you're innovative. That innovative push.
So yeah, you have 3 minutes.
Start wrapping
left.
it up for
So
what
it
it's
is
going to
like
be
you have 3 minutes
presented.
left
So
to
what's
start
the
thinking of
really
main
innovative? You can
points
talk
that
a
you
little
will say
bit in your minute and a
1.5
half
minutes.
about the basics, but get to the innovative thing where you could make a difference. Think about where you can make a difference. So guys, just start wrapping up a little bit to start thinking about what you're going to present in your 1.5 minutes. No pressure with 2 slides. I'm impressed, guys. You know, we had either that or you can just roll this over and put it on there. Would that be all right? Oh.
And maybe as a help in the restitution, focus on what,
2
what needs
minutes.
to change from
2
current ways
minutes.
of working. Sorry.
You're gonna have to have a designated holder upper. Yeah. Sorry, we had it and they took it back from us.
Ivory tower. So if you could please put it on. All right, so we'll start with the
Hold on.
presentation back.
We have 1 more minute. We have 1 more minute.
Oh, sorry. We
It's
have
okay.
1 more minute?
We have 1 more minute. But for the groups that aren't finished, are we getting there?
Who is the presenter in this group?
Okay.
Okay. So 1.5 minutes, focusing on
So-
the key points. What is different versus, what needs
Yes.
to be different versus today?
And I will be timing.
Is it working, the microphone? Super. Because that's important to record it because we're not taking notes. That is important to record because we're not taking notes.
Okay, guys. Now we start the rapid feedback session. So, come back to me, guys. So much energy. I love it. I love it. Come back to us. Come back to us. Okay.
All right, so we're starting. The floor goes to group number 1, the situation analysis or the insights. Before we do anything else, we need to understand where we are.
Starting now.
90 seconds. Okay, let's go. So what we said is that we started out with everything saying, okay, this is all fine, but this is the way that we always do it. So we said, we got to take a look at this and kind of turn it on its head a little bit. So my lovely assistant, Vanna. So as we take a look at this, what we're saying is right off the beginning, we need to understand what our corporate North Star is and what are the customer promises and what's our value proposition. From that, we start to take a look at these notions of commercial innovation, medical unique selling proposition, therapeutic value, and points of differentiation that are relative to our specific product, okay? Now, we've got that information, because remember, what we're doing is we're talking about customer needs, not our needs, right? So we're marketing to the customer as the target audience, as opposed to the brand as the target objective. So as we start to move up, we say, what's the next thing we want? We want to try to find 0, first, second, third-party data that is relevant for our insights. As we start to continue to move up, we're saying, what are customer needs now, and what will they be in the future? And remember that what we're doing is we're setting up customer needs as the dependent variable, okay? As we move up from that, then we said, now the customer's funnel. So this is the classic funnel, right? And we continue to distill down, because here's the world, here's audience, and now we're taking a look at targets. And within our targets groups, we have to take into consideration healthcare professionals, payers,
5,
providers,
4,
patients.
3, 2.
One, and
One.
go. And finally, customer profile segmentation, which actually is informed by everything else that we've done, which is kind of the reverse of the approach that we typically take.
Thank you. Wonderful work.
Super.
Minute and a half longer than you thought, isn't it? All right, who's next? Let's go strategy.
So here you go, the microphone.
Here's the microphone. Go strategy.
Okay. So,
Ready? Go.
So, speaking about strategy, of course, we first look on our target audience and our customers and our patients. Where do we play and what pain points do we address? So, from the strategical point of view, it's important to see human, not just a role of position inside it, in terms of defining our landscape and our area where will we play and work in. And another important thing here is getting feedback and constantly, dynamically getting those feedback in order to modify our strategy. Then, how to win love and how to win recipients of our product is to hear the patient voice and to actually put focus on our differentiation. What do we do better and why our product is better, focus on side effects, on its absence, and actually to see it in more holistic way, the problem in general, not only pharma, not only product or only medical device. And of course, engage external stakeholders and patient advocacy groups. So I have 10 seconds. And to measure critical success, we will be focusing on smooth transition from global strategy to local implementation, to plan it in timely and nicely executive way, and of course build new partnership and prioritize.
Nice work.
Super
Hopefully.
duper.
And last but certainly not least,
Thank you. Fantastic.
tactics. Tell me when you're ready. Start.
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Almost.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So we can go.
All right,
After
go.
having such brilliant strategy and so on, it's no-brainer. So there are 3 things major here. According to the specific objectives which strategy defined, we are just defining which are the tactics according, but very specific ones. Tactics needs to be customer specific, and we want to include customer in co-creation of the tactics. And we want to learn out of the tactics very quickly. So feedback loop. We do advisory board, it didn't went well, we do not do the second one with a similar setting and so on.
Nice.
Whoa, mic drop.
Wow.
30 seconds.
I think this should be most time should be on strategy and
Yeah.
planning, and then the
Yeah.
execution should be
Yeah.
no-brainer, but I think we are doing opposite in
But
the
it's
content.
funny because you actually simulate exactly what we have in real life, right? The tactics, you guys were like, bam, 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 and these guys are like, damn it, we got the hardest table. They're like, it's the hardest, and it is, so don't feel bad, because I know it was like... So, guys, I know this was really fast, but I hope you learned a little bit from each other, and it was really great to hear the conversations you had. And I think we have some slides that they can take away later.
We'll seek to summarize your
Yeah.
input
Yeah.
so that you have it
Yeah.
as a takeaway.
Absolutely.
Good idea.
So thank you guys so much. We hope you enjoyed this session and have enjoyed the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you.